Hi guys, this is Naeem. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Samyang 7.5mm f3.5 fisheye lens. This is a great fisheye lens. It's easy to use, lightweight, very portable, and the fact is, as long as you can deal with that manual focus, honestly, it's all you need. The thing is, it's not exactly a cheap lens. Yes, this lens costs £200 brand new, and in the camera world, that is super duper cheap. In my opinion, honestly, that's not cheap when you take into account the fact that this is such a gimmicky lens as some people perceive. I got it £169 used on MPB. You could maybe argue, hey, that's very similar to the price point of a used GoPro, but no. This is not a GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 7. A GoPro Hero 7 is a completely different type of camera. This is a real fisheye lens. You're going to notice that the image that's produced by this lens, if you pair it with a good camera, is so much sharper. It's just so much more professional, especially when you phase this lens at the sky. It's on another level. And in that case, yeah, it's a great lens for the price. I think this is a really fun lens to use. I actually bought this lens for videography, but the truth is, it's just so much fun taking photos with this. Some people, they hate that curvature ball fisheye effect, but I think it's really cool. And I feel like when you take photos of the environment, it just pops the environment. It makes these simple, non-impressive environments suddenly like pop out. It brings them to life. It's amazing. I think it should be noted that the one I'm using is basically a Micro Four Thirds mount one. So yeah, with the Micro Four Thirds mount, you have that 50% crop. So it is zooming inside the fisheye lens, but the truth is, because it's 7.5mm, it's already pretty wide. The other thing is that if you are using this on a Panasonic Lumix camera, make sure to set the manual focus to 7.5mm. It just deals with some stabilization issues. To get the sharpest image on this lens, what you have to do is you have to adjust the focal length to infinity, and honestly that is a hassle. In fact, when I first got this lens, it actually took me a few days to just be able to understand how to use it, because the manual focus on a fisheye lens, it's not like manual focus on a 25mm portrait lens. It can drastically vary based on how close you are to the object. So for example, the focal length here is not actually set to infinity, it's set to something near infinity. So like if I go really close, it'll blur, and if I go not too far away, it'll get my face. The other really cool thing about this lens is that you can just about blur the background, and I think that's amazing because this isn't even that kind of lens. Firstly, it's a f3.5 and I'm using it on a Micro Four Thirds sensor, so no bokeh bro, but still I can get a little bit of bokeh. The other really cool thing about this lens is actually this special glass material, adhesive, whatever, that they put on the glass. What that means is, when you're out in the sun, it does this thing where it's not significantly affected by the sun's rays. It means you can get these absolutely stunning photos of the sky. In my footage, I noticed that it really pops the sky out and it can focus on the sky. You know, even though it's a fisheye lens, you still can notice that blue hue in the sky. You can see the clouds. It's pretty incredible. The question is, can you actually use this lens for vlogging? Well, you can. My voice just broke there, I don't know why. You can use this lens for vlogging, but the thing is, you just have to constantly deal with that manual focus issue. So like, if I'm walking and I'm carrying this like in front of me, the moment I want to focus on, I don't know, like a big city or like a big mountainscape, so I have to touch the camera, I gotta turn the dial to infinity, and then woohoo, I can get a good image of the whole environment. But that's annoying, that's frustrating. Maybe that's just a manual focus lens life, and I should have not bought into the Micro Four Thirds ecosystem in the first place, which is my fault because I'm stupid. But it's a hassle. To conclude, don't buy a Micro Four Thirds lens. Don't get into the manual focus ecosystem life. Get a Sony A7. But no, overall, this is a great fisheye lens for the price. So it tends to be in the camera world, at least in the Micro Four Thirds camera world, that fisheye lenses, they're either quite cheap, like sub 130, 200 pounds, or they're really expensive, like 600, 700, 800 pounds. It doesn't seem like there's exactly what you have in between. And the really expensive ones have autofocus and a good picture. The cheap ones like this have a good picture, but no autofocus, manual focus. Maybe that's just a compromise. To conclude, great lens. If you're looking for a fisheye lens, in the camera world price point, yeah, it's a good fisheye lens, and I think you should go for it. However, if you don't like it and enjoy it, return it. Okay, I feel like for vlogging, I could have bought this cool, like, 12mm f2 wide angle lens, which may have been a bit more expensive, but I wouldn't have to deal with the manual focus stuff, and I could also use it for cool cinematic shots. But you know what? It's a fisheye lens. Who cares? Fisheye lens is all about getting as much as you can in that one photo, and good luck. I'll see you soon. Subscribe.